We're back at Donington Park. I love this place. Last time we came here in a completely stock car, we did a 1:30 in this. I'm desperately hoping for a 1:26. The only mods and the ones this video are about are the coilovers. The Meister R coilovers are superb. Performance Link set them up for me. They did a brilliant job. I'm really pleased with this car. It handles amazing now. It really transformed it. So in this video, we're going to get the coilovers on. I'm going to show you a few hints and tips with that. And then we've got some lightweight JDM wheels, and let's see if I can get my 4 seconds out of that. This looks like it's going to be the easiest install I've ever seen on a coilover. You've got your 3 bolts on top, your 3 studs on top, which are accessible in the engine bay. You might have to take your strut brace off for that, I did. Then you've got 1 bolt that goes through the bottom, which is 17mm head. And then really that's it that holds that in. But to help you out with the install, and it is an easy install, take out your M8 bolt there that holds your brake line in. Take out these 2 top bolts, which are M12 with a 17mm head, and then undo your anti-roll bar link. With those 3, this top arm should come out and allow us to slide that down and out. This will be easy. Recommended with these top mount nuts and the instructions, don't tighten them up until everything's set. So all I'm doing at the moment is spinning them on so I can take the jack away from underneath. Lovely. Now as you can see in here, this bolt and the other one over here is in. The ARB is not yet, and this bottom bolt is in. They're all in loose, only threads engaged. Now I'm going to nip them ever so gently and then not tighten them up until the wheel's back down. But now would be a good point to grease these up, or lithium grease I think it asks for. Check that the ring at the bottom, check that this one here is tight because that's for your height, and then your preload, check they're tight as well, and then we're good to go. So, I'm trying to act like I'm not dead pleased. I am dead pleased. However, that 90, was it 140? 50mm drop standard. I think that's going to be too low for me, but I don't think we need to let it settle to find out, so I'm going to knock it up 10mm. Okay, so I've had a 10mm, that's a 40mm drop. I still think that'll be too much, but you know what? I'm going to crack on with the back and see. When you're happy with the ride iron, it's down. Now's a good time to go underneath and tighten up them 2 upper control arm bolts and your lower suspension man bolt. And then don't forget to do these 3 on top. I'm going to take these 3 back off because I've got the strut brace to put back on. Thankfully, the rears are as easy as the front. Now, one arm has to come out of the way, just this top one. So this is kind of the biggest gap to get it out. So I just took it off at the back. Only 1 bolt, swing that out of the way. Then you've got 1 bolt at the bottom that holds the whole shock onto like a sleeve. Then at the top, you've got 2 on the inside. So this is the old one. You've got this stud here and this stud here. They're obviously nutted on the inside. You have to take like your boot plastics off. And you've got this one here. It's a 12mm headed M8 bolt, and it's there. You access it from here. Again, it says in the instructions, don't tighten your top mount until it's on the ground or until everything else is settled. So that one might be a bit of a pain to get at, maybe a load of extensions or something. But yeah, it's easy enough. So 1 at the bottom, 3 at the top. Take this arm out of the way. I didn't need to disconnect the anti-roll bar on the back. And then just jack this up to put the new one in. So let's go with that. So in the boot, strip all your plastics off so it's like that, and then you can see that one there, and you've got, let's get you in, there, another hidden one. So you'll notice that I have to take these plastic trims off. So that would go there and completely hide the shock. I want to be able to adjust that. So you can buy these adjusters. Well worth it. All they've got is a cap. So the front and rears are a little bit different. This one here has a grub screw. So all it does is just take this piece out of the way, undo the grub screw, just get rid of that, and then literally slot that on top and tighten up the grub screw. Now the black sheathing doesn't move, but you'll notice if I turn that, the bottom one moves. So all you've got to do here, slot that on anywhere, use the provided Allen key and tighten that up. Once fitted, that will give you an indication on where you want to drill your hole for your rear trim. And careful not to turn that because you don't want to ruin your setup. We go in like that, quick look behind. Up there would be perfect. I'm going to do it at the top so that you can't accidentally catch it with any luggage. Final fitment of this trim, 22mm hole you will require. Put that back in place. Fish that out. There we go. So the other side's going to be a little bit more tricky, you just got to get behind it. But you won't have to drill that, just drill your plastic again. So I'm going to refit that in a second. And pop that on. Yeah, similar position, that'll be good. Okay, so the fronts are a little simpler, but so when you put your strut brace on, you can no longer get access to the original. Without altering it, you can, 14mm spanner, just undo that bottom collar. Turn it all the way off, take that mechanism out. We'll keep that in case we ever go back. Put your strut bar back on. And then if you drill the hole just at the bottom of this like crease here, the strengthening crease, you'll be able to get that in one go. And that's fitted. The only thing I find a bit weird is that there's nothing holding that in. I might dab a little bit of sealant on the bottom of that or something. Keep it in. Unless you're maybe supposed to take it out maybe, don't know. But I like mine in, I think they look great. Now the car's back on the ground, I've got to tighten up these bolts. So you've got that one there at the bottom of the shock, that needs tightening up, and this one here, that I've ratchet on, both sides. That's it, and then you've got that hidden one, lock. You got that one to do up, which shouldn't be too bad. Then tighten up your inside ones. So coilovers fitted, we're back at Donington Park. Only mods you've seen since the last video, where we got a 1:30 at Donington, is the Avon ZZR tyres. These should make up for the 2 kilo difference in wheel weight. And thank you to Performance Link for doing an alignment. They told me this is a fast road setup, not too twitchy on track either, so it should make the best of these tyres. Looking forward to it. We're going to try and beat 1:30. I would be over the moon of 1:26, but we'll see how we get on.
Well, I've got good news for you, because I have been timing you.
Yeah. Is it less than 1:30?
Yes.
Is it much less than 1:30? Is it? I'm feeling a lot faster.
You'll be happy.
Is it? If it's 1:29, I'm not gonna be happy.
It's faster than that.
I want 1:26.
It's not that.
But I've still got full tank. That's my excuse. Is it 1:27?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
It is good.
That's really good.
Right, so the evening's coming to a close. We managed a 1:27 with our extremely scientific stopwatch. I'm 1 second off where I want to be, and I think that's going to have to come from power, because me as a driver, I am at my limit, as you've seen. I can't get any better, and I'm getting older, so more power is required. And I'll see you in the next video.